And how we doing this morning, everybody? Good, good. It's a nice Sunday. Now, y'all bear with me. I am a little nervous, but not nervous because I'm not ready. Nervous because my story should touch everybody in here. Whew. Okay. Uh, I've had a great life. I can't lie to you. I'm originally from here. I'm originally my parents, my dad actually, his side of the family. We grew up in Norman Circle, so those little projects right there, that's home for me. 128 Robinson Avenue, that's always a humongous safe place for me. Somewhere I've grown up. A lot of you, as I look in the church, y'all remember me from yay high, running around after my dad. Y'all know him as Ross. I know him as Junie. And through life, we all go through our own testimony. We're always going to go through things that we were not prepared for at the time. But later on in life, we realize that the things we went through, they meant something. They brought you to where you are today. I remember my man right here last Sunday when he spoke on his journey and everything. And we don't know each other, but his story touched me. And it was like I can relate to this person. And I say all that to say we're always going to go through tough times, but you got to realize who is there. And for me, had all A's through high school, middle school, elementary. I've always been smart. My mom's a teacher, of course, so I couldn't really fall too far off the stand. But grades were always good. Never had a problem in school. Never had a problem with my personality because I was around my home. And my home was not just my family members. It was people in this church. People, when they saw me at Mr. Norman's house running around, if I ever acted a fool, got on to me. I was always subject to change. Everybody around me always spoke good life around me. Great times with family and friends. But like I said, we all go through our trials and tribulations, ups and downs. I found myself after graduating high school hitting as I call it, a depressed state. I was so eager to leave the nest. I was so eager to be on my own, so eager to be this man. And when I jumped off the porch, there wasn't mama no more. There wasn't grandmama home cooked meals no more. There wasn't the love from my neighbors no more. It was just me. And through this process of growing and becoming who I am today, I lost God. I lost all sight of God. And mind you, I went to school to play basketball. The school I played at was a religious school, monks and everything. And I still was out of touch with God. And I started seeing my life go here all the way down. Started making wrong decisions, hanging out with people I had no business hanging out with, people who are not even in my corner or around me today. And one thing that I started to do, I started praying. And mind you, I was a 21-year-old black male struggling per usual. That's what they usually say. That's the story for us, to struggle. I didn't know who I was praying to, but I was praying. I was talking to somebody. And one thing that always stood out to me, one Bible scripture, is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him, and he will make your path straight. And one more time, and he will make your path straight. We all get to have this thing we call life. The path that we usually choose and that we take, it's not always going to be straight. And I remember being told this multiple times as a kid, like, oh yeah, you got people who will get off the path and you just got to stay on a straight arrow. And we always think it's so easy, but it's never easy doing the right thing every day. It's not easy waking up being a good person, and yesterday you feel like somebody did you the worst of the worst. It's not easy turning the other cheek. It's not easy being the different one out of the group. Like I said, the people who I used to hang out with to this day, I couldn't tell you the last common friend that I've had concur. I can't tell you how many times my circle has went from here to here to here to here to here to where I am today. And I know we've all went through our own trials and tribulations, like I said, but it's something about the word and the name Jesus. I was, like I said, I was nervous when my aunt actually told me yes, and like it's an ongoing joke in the family that I'm her favorite. So, uh, but I was as I was writing down these notes, I seen something, and it spoke so well to me, and it was actually from Twitter. Someone said, God covered me in a season when I was not even talking to him. And like I said, when I went off to school, I lost all contact with Jesus. I started doing things I had no business doing. And I'll never forget, never had a drug issue, wasn't a bad kid, didn't really dibble and dab in dad's alcohol cabinet too much growing up. But like us boys, we did a little something. And I'll never forget that I was getting drug tested 2 times. And I asked my dad, I said, I don't even participate in this. I don't understand what's going on. And in the midst of these drug tests, as I'm passing the drug test, my coach is becoming harder on me. And at this time, I'm complaining. I'm not happy where I'm at. I'm not realizing where I'm at. I'm looking at what the enemy wants me to see. So once I sat down with my father and I told him all the things I was going through, this was the first call. I said, hey, Dad, I want to come home. It wasn't a debate, anything. My dad packed up his truck, drove 4 hours to North Carolina, got a hotel room, packed up my dorm, and we hit the road. And I'll never forget, my dad was like, hey, this is going to be a turning point in your life, whether you believe it now or not. And, this was the first time I'm like, I'm just going to go play ball somewhere else. I don't know what you're talking about. And like I said, as I was writing out what I wanted to speak on, and I really took a deep dive into Matthew 26 through 28 to really make sure that I was speaking the right message. And I came across this where I saw Peter denied Jesus 3 times. And that was my first time denying Jesus for real. And I remember my second time denying Jesus. I was on the way home, had way too much drink, tried to be Superman, tried to be the cool guy, didn't want to be like, hey, we just need to sit down. I ended up going to jail for the first time. And in my gut, something told me to stay, but me trying to please people, I left. And that was the second time I denied Jesus. And this third time, mind you, I've been gone for about 10 years now. I've been back home about a solid year and some change. And the reason why I came home is because I felt I was lost. I found myself in the middle of the night praying, not knowing why, waking up in sweats, waking up in tears. And I called my dad again. And I said, hey, I'm praying. And everything is telling me to come home. What should I do? What should I do? Who should I go to? My dad said, hey, pack your bags, come home. And this third time, the difference about it was the simple fact God was changing me before I was changing myself. He filled my body with so much emotion in one day. I kid you not, my apartment was packed in my Dodge Charger and I was gone. And I came home, got all my stuff together, got my mind right, but it wasn't until coming to church here where I really started to understand that we're all alike. We're all alike. I said, I may not know you guys. Some of you may know me before I knew myself, like I said. But after coming to church, having Brother Mike preach with me, pray over me, preach to me, have my aunt continue to pour into me, I started hearing my prayers be answered. I started hearing God be present with me. And like I said, these people who I thought were my friends and all, people haven't checked up on me. You know how people say like, "Oh, I'm a call away. Oh, how you doing? Oh, I'm gonna see you when I see you." Nowhere near. Still doing the same thing. But when we talk, they want me to do the same thing. I can't do that. Can't go back to it. And like I said, after I really took a deep dive on reading Matthew, I was like, they really portrayed Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. 30 pieces of silver. And I have this tattoo on my arm where it says you find inner peace inside heaven and you find diamond pieces inside hell. And this is about your morals, what you want to do with your life, what you want to do with your new beginnings. As we stated earlier, he has risen. We are all given opportunities. We're all given second chances, and you are worth second chances. Because the man who rose died for your sins. And I always ask myself growing up, why me? Why me? Why is this happening to me? Why can't this go right for me? But then again, I never asked myself, why not me? I said, why not me? I deserve this. I've worked for this. It may not be on my time, but God's time is always correct. And the main thing that I really wanted to say to you guys today, we're talking about how Jesus rose and what he died for. I hope you guys all know that there is God in you. This is not just me saying it. This is not me just being a messenger. This is a statement. The same way that I denied God, he still gave me a second chance, a third chance. And even if I mess up again, guess what? It's going to be a fourth. And I say this humbly, and I truly, truly, truly believe this. But if you keep in your mind that you are one of God's children, he will always, always answer. Always. And I'm going to end this off with this last little bit. Okay. It's crazy, y'all. I'm one of the youngest ones up here. My technology is messing up for me. 27:22. And it says, Pilate said unto them, what shall I do with Jesus, which is called Christ? And they said unto him, let him be crucified. And that verse particular, and the reason why I wanted to speak on that is they wanted to crucify Jesus. They really wanted to make him an example. When you really sit back and look at the story and look how they had to humiliate Jesus, all to take all this power from one person, and he still rose. He still rose, no matter what the object against him was, no matter what it was, no matter what they tried to do, no matter what they stripped him of, he still rose. And when we go out there and you beat the odds and you wake up and you pray and your prayers get answered with the small wins, the big gains, that is God in you, and you will still rise. You will always, as long as you keep Jesus in the center of your life, you will too rise again. And I say this with a heart full of love. I hope that everybody, no matter what you're going through today, last week, in the future, what you've gone through, I hope that you all understand and know that he loves you and he will never forsaken you. He will take you places that you feel are unreal. Because trust me, that roller coaster that Jesus got, Six Flags ain't got nothing on it. Disney World, nothing on it. But honestly, truly, and I'm speaking this because this is my story. I've went through so much, and I've went through highs and lows, just staying stagnant. But this last low made me realize to never doubt myself, never think that it's over, never question God, never question what's going on, but to stay still in faith is progress. Amen. Just remember that. I thank you guys. God bless you all. I appreciate you letting me speak today.